What if I told you a school system was still engaged in actual racial discrimination where white children have to be in a particular classroom and black children have to be in the other? Well, we brought you this story in 2021. Now that school is being investigated by the federal government. Let's put up the picture full mass. It's in the city of Atlanta. Atlanta Public Schools. They are now being investigated for allegedly placing black kids in classrooms according to their race. On November 14th, a complaint letter was sent to Atlanta Public Schools alleging that a principal assigned black students to second and third grade classes according to their race during 2019 all the way until 2021. That is when we first reported on this. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the AJC, reports that a parent who is black made the complaint against Mary Lin Elementary School in Canler Park. The complaint alleges that about 13 black students were put into 2 classes, while white students were placed in any of the 6 second grade classes. Now remember, this is a majority white elementary school. Now for the shocker, put up the principal. See there? Look at that. Sharon Briscoe, principal of Mary Lin Elementary School. According to the report, a school administrator allegedly admitted to the complaining parent that Principal Briscoe separated the students so they would not be the only black children in the class. That is the excuse she gave. Now, here's what the school is saying, a direct quote from the institution. Atlanta Public Schools told Axios in a statement that this is following the federal complaint process. Said the report, the district added in its statement, given that this matter is pending before a federal administrative agency for consideration, APS has no further comment. You really didn't comment before the investigation. You didn't comment really in 2021 when we first did the story. And so now you're saying, well, we can't comment because it's a federal investigation. There's more. Background on the law. There's an actual law that must be followed on segregation and why it exists today. While explicit decisions to group or separate children based on race are illegal, segregation persists in schools throughout the country, often because the neighborhoods the schools enroll children from are themselves segregated. A series of court decisions over the years have gradually outlawed most of the civil rights movement era methods schools have used to make sure every child had fair process for school enrollment regardless of race. Now, how did this happen? How did it become a story in 2021? Well, ironically, a parent complained and said, I would like my child to be in a particular classroom. This is not abnormal. This is actually a pretty common request. Parents make requests all the time based on what they've heard about a particular teacher or a better fit with an educator. So the request was made. According to the parents, that request was denied because the child was black. And the request was to put the child in a class that was for whites only. Now, damn it, this is a public school system that receives public dollars from us, meaning they are subject to the rules of civil rights. So they decide to say no to this parent. Well, the parent was a school psychologist who actually worked in that same school. So this school psychologist made an issue, filed an official complaint, and then it made the news. This was back in 2021. The attorney who's representing the family has a question, and I echo your concern. The question is, why did it take so long for them to start investigating this? All right, we'll bring you updates as they come. This should not happen to the principal. Shame on you for doing this. You're probably not the only one, okay? And if you're not, listen, email me. I'm happy to expose every single one of you. This is not the way it should be done, period. Max, thoughts here.
The sad reality is we're gonna see more and more of this because this principal says she did this with the best of intentions. Hey, maybe that's true. The investigation will find that out. But the fact is, this is being enabled by a huge majority of right-wing judges all the way up to the Supreme Court who are systematically dismantling half a century of civil rights legislation. It is easier now than 20 years ago to segregate a public school because the Republican agenda in the courts has been met with no resistance from anyone. And now we're seeing that this is what happens. We will see even more examples of even more egregious segregation unless something is done.
Yeah, it's time out for this madness. Obviously, we have to become exactly what we would like to see. If you would like to see diversity, if you want to see fairness, you're in a leadership position, you have to be that, all right? You have to be a dogmatic advocate for what you think is right.